Hey everyone, this is Wellness Wednesday. I'm so glad you could join me today as we're going to be talking about traveling and your health and your wellness. As a child, I have to admit, we traveled some really long distances, at least once every summer. Usually we drove across country to try to visit our family. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little later, but lots has changed since that time, thank God. And this really is a very exciting time to be traveling. When more people will be traveling this year, I think they have in the last 3 years. And we're pretty excited about vacations, and we definitely want to do it as safely as we can. So when I start talking about travel, I use my release because I've got a lot of memories that I need to release. And so I love to put this oil on because it just kind of allows me to think about those and then let go of the habits that no longer serve me. And release is an oil that really does that. It has a little ylang ylang in it, a little lavender, geranium, and sandalwood in a carrier oil of olive oil. It's just excellent for that. So let's get started. Dr. Nozella here, your favorite wellness consultant. I'm a doctor of education and very passionate about empowering others to achieve the quality of life they desire. Professionally, I'm a nutrition educator, professor, a writer, a speaker, a researcher, and a wellness consultant. And like most of you, I struggle to live that balanced life. And one thing I've learned is that I have to be intentional, and that means taking care of my body, which I believe is the temple of God. And that's why I'm really excited today to talk to you about traveling and to share with you some of my favorite tips. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my memories of travel were not the best. I used to get sick, it seemed like, every time we went somewhere. I was always getting constipated. I was unable to relax using the crude bathroom facilities. I mean, this was way back in the 50s and 60s. And so oftentimes we were stopping by a tree or something like that, or really nasty toilets at the gas station. I often got car sick. I'd get nauseated. I'd get food poisoning is what we called it back there, because we didn't know you weren't supposed to cook chicken and carry it for 3 days through the summer heat and eat off of it all 3 days. I often felt really fearful when we were traveling across country, especially at night. And a lot of my fears continued into adulthood. Unfortunately, I passed probably those fears on to my children. I had fears of accidents, fears of unsanitary conditions, fears of how people were going to treat us, just fears of getting lost, fears of flying, just fears all over the place. I was just full of anxiety and fear. And I would just seem to spoil every trip, at least for myself. And fun was just not a part of the vacation memories. So what I know now is that travel tends to disrupt our routine, and it throws our body systems off balance, and that creates an excess of stress. And that really takes its toll on our body. So what we want to talk about today will help us at any time, actually, when we feel like that we're getting off balance. Because as I mentioned before, I believe that our body is a temple of God and that it was designed to heal itself. And when we give it what it needs, it will do that. And I prefer to support the whole body system rather than just treating symptoms. So prior to 2019, I was really traveling a lot on my job, eight out of 12 months a year. And I learned some really important tips for traveling. And so I started really enjoying travel a little more. However, in the last 3 years, I've mostly been homebound, as many have, and we're just starting to get back into traveling and getting back on the road and getting back on a plane. And there's a little apprehension there, but I've learned so much, and there's so many resources that we have for us today that we can be proactive rather than reactive, and we can plan ahead. And that's what I'm excited about sharing with you, especially the fact that we have these plant oils, which is, I believe, is God's gift for wellness and health. And we have the oil infused in supplements. And these have really been helpful in helping me overcome some of my fears and helping me to maintain my routine so I can really enjoy a trip. So let's get started. I've got quite a bit here. I hope I don't have too much and keep you too long. But if you have other comments, please put them in the chat, or please post them in the comments on Facebook. And if you have any questions, do it there as well. let me just start off by saying several years back, I did have one trip where I fainted on the plane. I was so stressed, had a lot going on, and I ended up in Charlotte, North Carolina hospital. And it was about what I would call my $20,000 learning experience. Um, I tell you, I would have loved to have saved that money, the time, and I learned so much from that one trip because when I got done, basically all they told me was that I was pretty much under stress. Okay. I had disregarded what I knew about remaining balanced. And that always reminds me of how is important to think about these five things when you're traveling: stay calm, stay safe, stay nourished, stay hydrated, and stay regular. And so everything we're going to talk about now is going to be around those things. But first, let's talk a little bit about some packing tips. Because I use the Young Living essential oils as my wellness arsenal, I don't call it a first aid kit. Okay, I call it a wellness kit. I want to make sure that I can have my oils with me when I'm on the go. And so, just a few tricks that I use for packing um, so that I have what I need. You really only need a few oils, but you can take as many as you want. And what's wonderful about it is in that quart size bag that they tell you can carry all your liquids in on the plane, you can put a lot of oils. In fact, I have a backpack that I use that holds about 48 oils in the bottom. And then I can have about 5 or 6 oils, including my hand sanitizer, my spray, my inhaler in the front. And it also lets me carry a small diffuser and my water bottle. And I can carry all my personal things, my iPad, and I can even use a supplement organizer. All of that'll fit and it flies with me just wonderfully. And so I've discovered that that's an easy way when we're talking about flying because we have to be more compact. When you're driving, of course, you can carry your oils in your bag. You want to just make sure that you're carrying them. If you have a diffuser with you, and whether you use the 5 milliliter bottles or the 15 milliliter bottles depends on how long you're going to be gone and how much you think that you need. I'll say my favorite diffuser is the Aroma Sweet. I'm not sure if it's available now, but the Desert Mist, I love it because it won't break. It's very lightweight and it does so many things. You also want to take with you, I like to have these inhalers. These are so wonderful because you can put oil in them and you can use these and no one else has to know that you're using oil. So if you're with people that are very sensitive and they don't want to have the smell, those are wonderful to carry with you. And then take advantage of the sample sizes of all of the different products that Young Living has. And of course, there are a lot of different oil cases that are available. I encourage you to look up the different ones. Talk to me. I have different ones I can show you. We won't get into that today. But a lot of different ways and different smaller containers to be able to carry things in. So take advantage of that and take advantage of the samples that you're using. Of course, you're going to pack based on whether you're doing that road trip, whether you're flying, whether you're camping, business and convention. And you can do that in a way where you're not carrying too much, but you're making sure that you have what you need. So let's get going here. Okay, with the first thing that we want to think about for me, I always have to remember that I need to stay calm. Travel can be hectic. There's a lot of unknowns. And those of us that like to have control of things, and I'm one of them, okay, we don't do well with unknowns. So it's important to remember to learn how to relax and to stay in the moment and learn to catch yourself. I'm learning to catch myself when I'm starting to have fears, worries, or anxiety. And that's when I will just stop and breathe. I'm learning to be aware of my body when it starts to get tense. If my shoulders are getting tense, if I'm getting breathless, if I'm starting to be irritated, fearful, or angry, I'm starting to notice myself and just say stop and practice some breath work. Practice breathing in. It's amazing how effective breath work is, and it has helped me so much to be calm, because what would happen is in my childhood, I would get all worked up, and that's what ends up causing me to be in the hospital and things like that. So now I'm learning to, when those fears start to just begin to surface, I'm going to start breathing. And I really love it because the oils even help that better. Okay. Keep in mind, fear is there for protection. So I'm not saying to ignore your intuition or your cautions. I'm just saying to be aware of when it's a legit fear or when it's just residue from past fears. Okay. But these are just some of the oils that I love. I love Peace and Calming. I've used it for years. And just a little bit and just breathing in the stress away, of course, is awesome. Valor and Kid Power, both of these are for courage and confidence. And so sometimes when I'm not sure what's going on or what decisions to make, these are excellent to use. The Kid Sense Unwind is just a little stick packet, but the magnesium helps calm the nervous system. So just taking that is another way to calm yourself down. And then the beautiful little aroma rings are amazing because you can just wear them, and one of them has lavender in it, which is very calming. So just as you're breathing, the other one has aroma ease, which also calms, but it also works with the digestive system. And so again, these are things that you can start out, use them as you're getting ready, as you're traveling to, as you're during your travel, just wonderful things to have with you to help you stay calm. And then, of course, you definitely want to stay safe. I think that's at the top of our mind. But I want to remind us that through these 3 years, we don't want to forget about the importance of some of the basic safe hygiene practices. Remembering just washing your hands, that 20-second hand wash really is effective in getting rid of germs and things. And then you want to make sure, and we'll talk about this a little later, that you're using a hand sanitizer that doesn't have a lot of alcohol in it. That's why ours is so wonderful, because it's so gentle, but so effective. And then I do want to remind you to keep at the forefront the 4 Fight Back food safety rules. These are important because when we're traveling, we tend to forget. You definitely want to clean your hands. So clean's the first one. Clean your hands. Make sure surfaces that you're eating food off and things like that have been cleaned well. Keep separate foods that could cross-contaminate each other. So if there's a raw, like meat or anything like that, if you're grilling or something like that, you don't want to have it on the same container where you cut up vegetables. You don't want your vegetables put on the same container with raw meats and things, because you're cross-contaminating your veggies and things if they're not going to be cooked. And then you want to make sure all your foods are cooked to the proper temperature, 40 degrees or higher, okay, or bacteria can grow. And you want to make sure that the cold foods stay cold, 40 degrees or lower. In between that 40 degrees, high and low, is the perfect place where bacteria grows. And 10 bacteria can grow to 10,000 in 2 hours. So any food that's set out at room temperature is perishable. It has a tendency to make you sick. Please avoid eating food that has been sitting out. Just follow those rules there. And then second, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself from all the environmental toxins that are around. It's just so much out there. And that's why I love the Thieves line, because it has products. It's a proprietary blend that's based on that legend where the thieves during the Black Plague, they received a lighter sentence because they revealed, if they would just reveal their secret for why they didn't get sick when they were doing all these robberies. And it was because they had this blend of herbs that we now have, like clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary, to make up the thieves. And so it's very, very effective. Oh my goodness, you see the research on it. Some people like to also have with them purification because it has citronella in it, lemongrass, rosemary, tea tree, lavender, and myrtle in there. But you definitely want to make sure that you have the thieves spray. I carry this everywhere. I have several because that's what I spray everything down, spray down everything in hotel rooms, all the surfaces I'm going to be touching, everything gets sprayed down. I take it with me. I spray everything down when I go to the bathroom. And then I always have a diffuser with me. So I told you that I take the little aroma suite with me, but I have also taken the Desert Mist with me. I love to diffuse thieves in the bedroom wherever I'm staying, or interchange it between purification. That's kind of up to you. And then you definitely want to make sure that you've got your little bottles of hand sanitizer all over the place and you're using them. And again, these are not going to have behind alcohol that's going to be drying and so going to be hurting your skin. You can use them and it really helps you as well. So stay safe, all right? Stay calm, stay safe. And then you definitely want to stay hydrated, okay? If you're like me, you might have a little bathroom phobias, okay? And so I had to start releasing some of this, and that's why I talked about using release, okay? But dehydration occurs in your body when it's losing more fluid than it takes in, and 7 out of 10 people are chronically dehydrated. They don't realize they don't have enough water. Now, if you've got problems with incontinence and things like that, that's something that we need to talk with your healthcare provider about. Check with the meds to see if it's caused by some of the side effects. But we're talking about just basic dehydration because it can really cause some issues. If you are very thirsty, by the time you start feeling thirsty, you've already been dehydrated. So that's one of the first signs. If you have a dry mouth or dry throat, you have dark urine, if you are feeling fatigue and weak, hey, that's another sign to hydrate. Dizziness and lightheadedness, that's what would happen to me. Headaches can be a sign, dry skin, muscle cramps, a decreased urine output. That is not good. Or there may be a rapid heart rate. All of those are signs of dehydration. And in real severe cases, it can be very, very life-threatening, okay, and require medical attention. Hey, guess who learned that the hard way? Okay, so please watch your hydration and taking, just a drop of lemon vitality into the water wherever you're at. If you're concerned about, the safety and things like that, put a drop of the lemon vitality in water when you're drinking it, or you could put a drop of the Thieves Vitality in there. They're wonderful. We also have the Vitality drops that will add electrolytes and energy to your water, and you can just squirt a little bit of that in your water. But make sure you're getting enough water and you're hydrated during your travels. And then, of course, you want to stay nourished, okay? The goal is to have a really strong immune system so you can enjoy yourself, okay? Part of the vacation is trying to have fun, okay? And I know that also includes eating different foods. And so when you're doing that, you really want to make sure you're supporting your digestive system. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But plan for the splurges, okay? Eat as healthfully as you can, possibly when you can, so that you can plan for those times when you're going to just be taking advantage of the special things. And some places you go to visit, you're going to find that the food is a lot healthier in some countries than it even is here. Because I have food intolerance and I have a very sensitive digestive system, I never know when it will be a challenge for me to eat foods that are safe for me. So what I know is that if I have Ningxia Red with me, it is packed with powerful antioxidants and superfoods. I mean, the Ningxia Red has a wolfberry, plum, aronia, cherry, blueberry, pomegranate juices, extracts, and it's a perfect way for me to start my day off, to make sure that if I can't eat anything else that's going to help me, I'm going to be getting it, because clinical studies show that it increases my physical energy levels. It improves the sleep pattern, something we definitely want to make sure we're doing when we are traveling. It increases the time that you're asleep. It reduces daily stress. It actually improves your mental well-being. And what's wonderful about it is it includes that blend of premium essential oils. It has orange, yuzu, lemon, tangerine. All of those are immune boosting. And so they prevent oxidative stress, which supports the cellular function, and it just promotes healthy energy levels. So it's wonderful for me. I know I'm getting the nutrition I need. I know I'm getting antioxidant protection, overall wellness support by just having 2 to 4 ounces a day. And it comes in such a handy little sachet packet. I can pack it with me, carry it wherever I go. I always make sure I have that with me when I'm traveling. I always also make sure that I have Master Formula as my main supplement, because it's a full spectrum supplement that provides vitamins and minerals that will help support my bone density and health, my brain function, my cellular protection, my digestive health. It has things for my energy levels, my eye health, my heart health, my immune system, my skin. And what's wonderful is it's food-based ingredients, and it's delivered in 3 ways in a synergistic complex that really supports my digestive health. And so that helps to neutralize the free radicals in my body and provides me with gut flora supporting prebiotics. So it's just overall wonderful. Those 2 are generally enough to get me through the day, get me through vacations. But what I'm excited about is Young Living also has so much more. Okay, so if I want to make sure that I have a whole food shake with me, I can use their Balance Complete. If I'm concerned about getting enough protein, I will definitely use the Pure Protein Complete. It doesn't come in the little packets the way the Sleek does. And so the Sleek shake is easier because it's in packets if I'm traveling to carry it with me. And then, of course, if I'm concerned about energy when it comes to nutrition, I will always have the little Ningxia Nitros because it gives me the perfect energy without messing up my system and my heart. I love it because it's based on green tea and has just the right kinds of ginseng that I can use that don't hurt me. There's many of the other energy drinks too. And then one other thing I really love is I don't seem to get enough veggies. And so I do love having the multi-greens on hand for me, because those again come in a little capsule. So they're just really, really easy to pack. So you're thinking about things that are easy to carry with you and pack with you. And those are just a few things that really help me when I'm out, and I can just enjoy myself because I know I have that support there. And then I have to talk to you about staying regular, because this is probably one of the hardest things for me. My dad used to always say, keep both ends open. And it seemed like it was easier for men than it was for me as a little girl. But stopping to take the digestive system seriously can often be inconvenient when we're traveling. And before you know it, then you've got problems. Okay. So it's really important to think about making this a priority, especially when you're traveling, because you have already upset the routine. And keep in mind, 2/3 of your immune system is in that gut. So we talked about hydration being that very first step of helping you stay regular, because it keeps the intestines and all that stuff lubricated. Nutrition is important because you're having the foods that are going to be easy for you to digest. Moving is going to help because that helps the digestive system and keeps things going. And then if you need additional support, then I loved the Comfort Tone tablets. Are very gentle. They're not a harsh laxative, but they support the digestive system and keep things functioning. The ICP is wonderful. It doesn't come in packets, so you would have to pack it in a way that you could use it on a daily basis. But it's wonderful because it's really easy on your system. And then if you think that you might have some discomfort that needs a little fizz, the alkaline comes in little sticks. They're wonderful to take to really help to ease some of that discomfort that you might have. I always love to have the Mighty Pro because it also comes in the little stick packets. And in it, you have a prebiotic and a probiotic. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. Even though it's designed for children, it works so well for adults as well. So everyone in the family can use them. And then I really, really recommend, especially traveling, that you are taking with you enzymes and you're using the enzymes with every meal, because enzymes help to break your food down so that you're getting the benefit from it. And unfortunately, the food today doesn't have the enzymes that it should have in it. That's a whole nother class. But we've got choices for like 4 different kinds. My favorite when I'm traveling on a trip is the Essential Science 4, because it is so expansive in what it does. But any of these are very, very effective. And so pick the one that you like the best, the one that you have on hand, the one that works for you. Make sure that you're just getting your enzymes in. And then overall, when we're traveling, we want to sometimes think about, what do I need to have on hand? I'm just going to go over a few little oils and why they might be helpful for systems that you want to support. The nervous system is what deals with your anxieties, your fears, your worries. It also is where we talk about needing support. So if you're wanting to support that system, of course, using your lavender, your stress away, your frankincense, cedarwood, those are all going to be excellent. If you feel like you want a tablet, Sleep Essence is great for sleep. as is Immune Pro, which builds the immune system and really helps your sleep. And then your Kid Sense Unwind, which I mentioned before, has that magnesium. So those are perfect to take if you're wanting to support your sleep. To support your heart, then of course, you can go back to your lavender, your lemon, your frankincense, the stress away, and joy. All of those are oils that support your heart. We've talked about some things to support the immune system, but again, think about the thieves, the lavender, the frankincense. Purification is great, as is copaiba. And my secret weapon when I'm traveling and when I need support for my immune system is gonna be Inner Defense. That is a gel caps that has thieves in it, plus some powerful oils. Or some people like to make sure they have thyme and oregano with them, and the gel, the caps that you can put your own oil into it. That's kind of my secret weapon for the immune boosting. But you also may want to definitely have some things to support your joints and your bones, your muscular skeletal system. So that's where Panaway, awesome. Using the peppermint, the lavender, copaiba. Deep Relief is excellent for that, Cool Azul. And what you're going to hear is there's some basic oils that you can have with you. We'll talk about that later, that are going to be so versatile for helping your systems. We talked about the digestive system. The one oil that's my favorite is the Digest. But then peppermint, lemon, aroma ease, and we talked about the Mighty Pro helping to support that system. Those are all things that are so wonderful to keep that system functioning properly. The excretory system, again, the Digest, lemon, thieves, peppermint, purification, all helpful. Respiratory, you want to make sure you're breathing well. So definitely make sure you've got some Raven or RC. Thieves is awesome. Peppermint again, copaiba, lavender, lemon. Do you see how some of them are popping up because they're so versatile? Your skin and hair, the integumentary system, which deals with the skin and the hair, things like your frankincense, your lavender, your thieves, using your lotions, your lip balm, all of those are going to really help that. And you definitely don't want to forget to take care of your endocrine system. That's a system that includes your adrenals, your thyroid, your reproductive organs and things. And so things like frankincense, stress away, or you might want to use your favorite supplement that supports that system. There's oils like the Endoflex, which is one I really love. Sclerescence is excellent. Many people love using Femigen or PD 2080. Use the ones that work best for you. And again, you just carry them with your supplement pouch as you're on vacation. But you want to make sure that you're keeping those things, that routine up, so you're supporting all those systems. And again, packing them, it can be really, really easy, whether you're using a 5 milliliter bottle. If you're only going to be a day or two, you might want to just use the 1 gram bottles and put oils in it. Again, I love using the inhalers to carry special things with me. I can have right there on myself. And if other people can't handle it or it bothers them, there's no issue. I will tell you, there are a few things that you could carry to make sure that you've got the personal care items that you need. We mentioned making sure that you have some vegetable capsules so that you can always put in some of the vitality oils if you want to take them internally. Insect repellent, you definitely want to have that. And we've got these wonderful insect repellent wipes that are so easy to use, so easy to carry, so easy to pack. The Lavaderm after sun spray, and these come in containers that are pretty small. The rose ointment is all purpose and just wonderful. Okay, we used to use Vaseline, ditch it. Okay, there's problems with it, but rose ointment is great. And then making sure that you have the Thieves cough drops or the Thieves lozenges. I love to have just those on hand if I'm feeling like my throat is getting dry or anything like that. We've talked about the Thieves hand sanitizer. We've talked about the Thieves spray. Also, there's this Thieves hand sanitizing wipes. So if you want to have a wipe, the larger wipe packet, it works really well and to travel with it as well. And then take advantage of any of the skincare samples that you have. If you've attended Wild Experience or beauty school, there's many samples there. There's also samples that you can get from Young Living of some of the oil samples of the toothpaste. You can always get the little smaller bottles if you need that. Um, and I do want to remind you that if you are going someplace like camping and you want to have a cleaner with you, they've got the Thieves Household Cleaner is in a sample packet and it has 10 in there. So if you're going with several people, you can really share this because one pouch will make two of the 16 ounces of cleaner. So you can make quite a bit of cleaner with just that one pouch. I mean, as we said, that cleaner's, less than $1.50 a bottle. It's really inexpensive, but super, super, super effective. Um, and then just a reminder, I love a bargain, but when it comes to my health, I don't want to play with that. Okay. All essential oils are just not the same for your health and your wellness. You don't want anything synthetic. Uh, you don't want anything made in a lab. You don't want anything adulterated with fillers. And so that's really why I have always come back to Young Living because of their Seed to Seal promise. They are the leader in the industry. They continue to be that. And Seed to Seal is just their commitment. Unlike anything else, they want to control the entire process from when the seed goes into the ground to the sealed bottle that we get at our home. They control the sources of those seeds. I mean, check this out. I mean, the plant material is that they use is grown on their corporately owned farms or else carefully vetted farms that meet their standards, and you can actually go visit those. They use very sustainable farming and sourcing practices so that they can provide the purest oil, and they take such great care to preserve and protect all the natural resources as they're doing that. They're hand weeding their fields, so there's zero pesticides on the oils, and that's not getting into the oils that we're using. They retain all their natural constituents and the therapeutic properties because of the way that they process the oils. They use food grade distillers and state of the art distilling methods. And what I really like is they use a low pressure, a low temperature distillation process. So they don't use solvents, they don't use synthetic chemicals to increase how quickly and how much they can make it because they want to preserve the quality and the integrity of the oil. And then they use a very rigorous testing on each batch in their own internal labs, but they also have third-party facilities that do testing. And the oils are so carefully reviewed throughout every step of the production so that they can meet their standards. And if they don't use it, they discard it. And somebody else may buy it and use it, but it won't be something that we use at Young Living. And I really appreciate that about them. And the other thing about the oils is they are so easy to use, so versatile. You can just open a bottle, smell it. Okay, you can put a drop on your hand, breathe in, really helps make that sentence to breathe. Remember that calming down to stay calm that we talked about. So doing that throughout your trip is so helpful. Making those inhalers, again, they're so simple, they're so personal, but it's just an awesome way to get the benefit. It goes right into your olfactory system, right to the brain. It's wonderful. You can also use them topically. Read the label, but what I like is the oils they're so small molecules, they go directly into the bloodstream. And that's why I like the digest for digestion, because I can just rub it right on my tummy. And it's amazing how quickly that works. But sometimes I put rollers on my bottles. I like that as well when I'm traveling, to have a roller on a bottle. It's easy to use and I can just roll it on for really quick application. And what's really nifty is sometimes you want to roll it on and sometimes you want to be able to just drop it in. So we have these dual application bottles that you can get from Young Living, which has a roller on one end and a drop on the other end that you can put your oils in it if you're traveling. And then that gets me to the last way you can use it is internally. We have the Vitality line. You have to be careful that you're not taking in any oils that do not say that they are for internal use, okay? But as I mentioned before, putting a drop of lemon in your water to drink it is wonderful and great way to get a little added protection when you're on a trip. A drop of frankincense, a drop of thieves, awesome ways. And these are all come as vitality oils. And I can just tell you, when I have practiced using my oils and supplements in these ways, staying calm, staying hydrated, staying with good nutrition. And when I practice these things that we've been talking about today, I have enjoyed so much my vacation. I have enjoyed being out and seeing the sights, and I haven't spent more time in the hotel room than I have outside. So these are things that I have found personally to be so very helpful. And I will tell you, we have, I know, talked about a lot of things today, and you may have a lot of notes that you've taken. If you've been with Young Living quite a while, then you're probably going to be able to go back into some of your stash, pull some things out, and start looking at how you want to pack things up for your next trip. If you're new to Young Living and you're just getting started, I would just invite you, take advantage of one of our starter bundles, because they have already put together a set of oils that are going to support your system. And what's exciting is we have a new limited edition sweet summertime starter bundle. It has a smaller diffuser with it, and it comes with vanilla, peppermint. You heard that come up a lot, lemon verbena, lavender, and lime. All of those are oils that are really helpful during the summertime. But also in that bundle, you're going to get the lip balm, which, oh my goodness, it nurtures and nourishes your lips without all the synthetic chemicals that other things have in it. You also are going to get Lavaderm, which is really great. Remember, we talked about for those issues with the sun and other skin irritations that you may get during this season. So this is a bundle that really will enhance your traveling experience. And if you're interested in getting a bundle, please take a picture of that QR code, because you can take a look at all of the bundles. When you get a bundle, you're probably going to get the Best Buy, because you're going to get the oils at probably some more than 50% off. Which is the only way to get them that way. So when you get them through the bundle, so do take advantage of that. Of course, the premium starter bundle that you see there with the Desert Mist, it also comes with like 10 to 12 oils, but it has the sanitizer, and it has the samples of the red Ningxia Red in it. Also has cleaner in it, so it's packed too with wonderful things. And man, it's so inexpensive, such a good buy that you'll want to take advantage of that. I want to thank you so much for joining me today as we talked about these tips for travel. And I really encourage you to stay calm, stay safe, stay hydrated, stay nourished, and stay regular. Okay. And let me help you do that. Take a picture of the QR code there, and please be in touch with me. If you have any questions, please just post them in the chat or in the comments, and we'll get back with you. And I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful summer and a safe travels on every trip that you take. Bye, everybody.